Hello, today we're going to attempt to do our digital pattern with our 128 triangle project. So we need to isolate a rectangle. I don't like utilizing the built-in feature just because as I'm trying to crop this, although I am able to crop, you see that I'm not able to isolate edges. If I take this edge away, then I lose some of the bottom, and I lose some of the left. If I try to increase it to capture that left portion, now I'm bringing this in. So I'm going to get out of this one. And I like to go to my Edit and Create tab, drop down, and I have an Edit with 3D Paint. I'm going to hit on Crop. And I'm looking for which item I want to work on. I like this pattern down here. I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to increase my view. I'm going to zoom in. I'll bring in this edge and this edge. And you can see that I have much more control utilizing this program. So I want to bring that in, clean my edges there, bring this in, clean my edges here. And I'm going to go ahead and select this. I'm going to save as. And I'll just call it digital pattern. Give it to my desktop. I can go ahead and get out of this now. And then I'm also going to bring up my PowerPoint. I'm going to click on PowerPoint. And it's here. Now I'm going to click on a blank presentation. On this blank presentation, you're going to see this elongated form, and we want to get rid of that. And then you also see that this time I have a grid format. So let's look at that grid format first. So if we go over to View, over here you have Ruler, Grid Lines, and Guides. And this is normally how if you open up PowerPoint, this is what it would look like. And so the first thing I normally do is I go to Design. I go all the way to the right, Slide Size, Custom Slide Size, drop down to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to change it to to portrait format. I click OK. I'm going to ensure the fit. And we are now in the proper 8.5 by 11 format. But I don't like this click title or click, so I'm not doing that type of a presentation. I'm going to just and delete this slide. I'm going to go home to insert. I'm going to put in new slide. I'm going to scroll down to blank. So this gives me a nice clean template to work with. And then I'm going to go back to view. And I want to look at having a ruler, grid line, and guide. And this is now perfect of what I want to add. So I'm going to go back to insert. I'm going to click on text box. I'm going to click that and then click on the page. Expand my text format. I got to give this page a title. So how to create a digital pattern. But I also want to make sure that I'm centered always. I'm going to right click. I want to bold, and I'm going to increase my font size just to make this pop a little bit. Now you can see that I'm slightly off center to the right, so as I click on this, I can now drag this anywhere around, but if I slow down, you can see that center grid line highlights. So now I know that I am centered exactly in the middle of this page, which is really convenient. I'm going to shrink this down and go back to my saved image, and I'm going to just click and drag. So again, it's really convenient because I can adjust my size, move this all the way around, or I can increase. So I'm going to bring this, and I think that should be a reasonable size. Again, I'm going to go insert, text box, and this is going to be my single element. And I'm going to just move this kind of over, take this thing over here. Okay, so that red line tells me that I'm centered right here, but I want to make sure that this looks reasonable. Okay, I'm going to click it, and I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to move this right over here, and I'm going to paste again. Bring it right here. Make sure that they're touching. That red line tells me I'm aligned on top and on bottom. I'm going to select this, copy, and paste. Now, my next title is going to be single element with repeat. And now I can just take this over here, and I'm going to make sure that I'm centered. We're good. Now you can see that all right, so now we're looking over here, and I'm going to copy this again. Copy, paste. But this one is going to be a single element with repeat, vertical flip. Oops, there we go. And again, I want everything centered. I'll bring this up over here. I'll take this, copy, paste, bring it down, and now the fun begins. We're going to make sure we're touching. We're going to go to Format, over here to Rotate. So let me break this out really quick. Over here, Rotate, and you see I'm not even clicking anything. All I'm doing is just dragging it over, and it's rotated to the right 90 degrees. Again, rotating to the left 90, flipping vertical, and flipping horizontal. For this particular item, we need to flip vertical. So I am now aligned both top, bottom, left, and right. The next portion that I need to do, so again, I'm going to just copy the text because it's simple. I need a single element with repeat horizontal flip. Okay, and I'm going to just bring that over here. I'll copy, I'll paste. Again. But this has to be a horizontal flip, so I'm going to go back to Format and just, now we have a single element with repeat horizontal flip. Next item. Single element with repeat no flip. Pattern. All right. So again, now I already have that going on once. So I'm going to steal from here. capture everything. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. Drag it right over here. Now I know that I'm aligned top and bottom. But this has to touch. There we go. And I think I don't have enough space to add a second row. So I can't repeat this down here, meaning let's take a look at that. Right? This is clearly not enough space. So I either have to move all of this up or I have to shrink these images down. I think shrinking would be the best thing. And that line has told me that I've matched that. First of all, make sure we're touching. And there we go. Now I can see this has a gap. I want to make sure that we don't have a gap because we'll get marked off if we have a gap. Then I want to move this up. And I want to select this and move this up. I'll move this up. And let's look at overall view. Let's check and see if I have enough space. Nope, I still need to move the whole thing up. So the beauty of this is you can see how fast and how easy it is to manipulate all this and still stay aligned. Oops. I want to move that. I want to move this. Oops. Grabbing stuff from all over the place. Let's increase a little bit. There we go. Now, we can make sure we are aligned. There we go. And we now have our entire presentation on the paper. But again, this just tells you how easy it is to adjust the size. And you're going to have to mess around with this because you're going to determine as part of this assignment how big your sizes are that you have to repeat. So as you copy and paste, you know, you can change your format. You can copy, paste this several times, or you can actually change the layout, do a vertical, which technically would be the next assignment, which is the single element with repeat horizontal vertical flip. But if you had to copy this, you can start to see how easy this assignment begins. You can see how you get interesting new patterns developed from just one single item. And I hope this answers your question on how easy this is utilizing PowerPoint. If you have any questions, we look forward to helping you in the future.